Each spring, the boats that fill Chicago's harbors migrate up the Chicago River, passing under the city bridges to Lake Michigan. What does it take to make all of this happen? What if I told you none of it would be possible without an electrician? The completion of the Illinois and Michigan Canal, which joined the Chicago and Illinois rivers, created a direct water link between the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River, making Chicago the center of Midwestern trade. This, combined with the railway systems, made the city a bridge for commerce across the United States.
It's in the middle of the country, of course, so it's strategically important to the new American nation. But the bottom line is that you've got access to the Great Lakes from the East Coast. So in the 19th century and the early 20th century, the river is an industrial site. It's a place where the commerce of Chicago happens.
As the city grew, so did the need for river crossings, and the public clamored for bridges to be built. But merchants bristled at the thought of permanent bridges interfering with river traffic. Adversity birthed innovation, and the movable bridges were established. Built in 1834, Chicago's first movable bridge was a wooden drawbridge at Dearborn Street. Built out of timber, it resembled more closely the drawbridges from A Knight's Tale than it did the metal titans that straddle Chicago's rivers today. A bastion of engineering, it was no wonder Chicago kept improving its movable bridges, and eventually, the trunnion-bascule design was developed. Consisting of two leaves that pivot vertically, utilizing a large counterweight, the trunnion-bascule bridges are quick opening and do not create an obstruction in the river itself. They came to be known as the Chicago Bridge, and the Chicago Bridge needed tenders. By the middle of the 19th century, the first bridge tenders took their posts. Responsible for operating the bridges and tending to their maintenance, many of them lived at the bridges.
Back in the day when they built them in 1929, from the light bulbs to the main motors, all your gate motors, everything was 600 volt DC. And so they manned them with electricians, and electricians operating everything. They have electricians here 24 hours a day.
We're getting ready for the season here, and we're going to start bringing the boats out into the harbors. From the operations manager all the way down to the guys like us in the trades and stuff like that. I mean, and the engineering, everything. I mean, there's a big picture here. And, you know, everybody plays a part. Realistically, on a normal day on a bridge this size, you have 5 electricians working it. You'd have 3 machinists and 2 iron workers. And what they do is they leapfrog them from one bridge to the next. When you first get started, they turn on a mechanism called the safety first, which will start ringing the bells and warning lights.
Then we lower all the gates. When the bridges are going up, an electrician is here to be ready to fix any problems that might come up.
It's almost like a choreographed dance routine, where there's good communication between the guys down in the machinery area, in the electrical rooms, or up in the tower. But everybody coordinates with each other, and then also street level. Make sure that there's no pedestrians running across or whatever. So we're all locked down tight before we can even think about moving the bridge.
Then the center lock comes out.
Pull the locks to rear locks, and then actually start moving the bridge. In the event that any one of those steps has a problem, they are right here on the spot to rectify it so we can keep moving. We want to keep moving for the boaters, and we also want to keep moving for the pedestrians and vehicular traffic. They're showpieces, absolute showpieces. And not only to the city, but to everybody who visits here. We're raising 27 bridges in a matter of around 4 hours. There's a real sense of pride to what locals you belong to. You look at the iron workers and they're local 1, or the electricians are 134, or the carpenters are local 13, and they wear their stuff proudly. I've been a union member for 35 years. I hope it's for another 30.
I was working for the city in another spot, and the bridge department started to rehab bridges, and so they had a lot of work and they needed guys, and I jumped on the spot as soon as I can because they're interesting as from an electrician's point of view, because there's a lot of controls that go into each step to move forward with the next step so that it's safe.
You get a job like this is one that people dream about. I really have a passion for this. I love this. I love every minute of it. And also the people, the general public that's down here. When they see a bridge going up, they're like, wow, this is really the neatest thing going, you know? And it really and truly is.